Okay, so this video is mainly just for me to have a catalog of my mini paintings over the years. Just want to quickly go over, recap my year of mini paintings. This was one that I did at work. This was probably from early, maybe February. For some reason don't think I wrote the date on here. Probably from February. These four were my first group of mini paintings here. Early, so January 8th, 2025 would have been my first group of mini paintings. See if you can kind of get an eye on that lost time up here. This was another one I did at work. Unfortunately, I didn't date it. This was later than many of these in here. So right after I did these four, I realized that this is something I enjoy doing, and then I kind of kept moving forward pretty rapidly with these. So I just want to kind of roll through these paintings and kind of point out any ones that stick to me, and we will keep moving. I really liked this one. I want to say this one is called Goth. I don't know if I was labeling them at this point. I was not labeling them at this point. This is 1/9. But I believe I called this one Goth. I believe I might have a video for this. I'm not sure. I believe I have videos for all of starting here. So some of these early ones I really liked the color scheme, dual color scheme a lot of times on the early one. One of these was called Cookies and Cookies 2. I'm not sure, in honor of a song that my friends had made. You do see over time the nose shapes change. I start defining the characteristics and certain kind of preset head shapes and designs. This became one I used for a while, kind of the S shape swooping down. I didn't really get into this full page one too often, but this one is called Purple, like that, in honor of a moment my brother had at a concert. This one's called Candlelight in honor of a larger painting I did, I want to say in 2023, also called Candlelight, or something of the sort. Then I started getting into colors, actual colored, I stick with blue coloring, or stick with blue coloring. This one I started to like, and then I went, I really like the mouth, I think, but I went too far on the scene. This one was probably still one of my favorite ones here. You can see that. Let me move this book over. This one is one of my favorite ones here. And I'll kind of just move the pages so you can get an idea of what I'm doing here. Wasn't still fully locked in on the color per page yet, but you see I'm moving from blue to kind of a greenish color scheme, and there's one in here called Alligator or Crocodile that I really liked, and it's right here. This one right here. Really love this one. I believe that's it. Hopefully, oh no, this is it. This is it. I think this might be called Crocodile. Didn't name it yet. I still wasn't naming them at this point, and I think this one is called Alligator. Either way, really like both of these. I did eventually move away from the naming. Oh, this one's called Alligator. It's written right there. I did eventually move away from the naming directly on the pages. This is one of the earlier, well, these three. There was a third one here. I guess I sold that. These were the earlier mall rat type characters that I was doing, and I really enjoyed those. Moving into, this is another nice one here. This is called I Saw You Crying. A lot of my titles just come from lyrics in songs, or a word might pop into my head. I have a little note section in my phone. And I actually do name these before I even paint them sometimes. Or I just have a list of names. I'll do 3 or 4 paintings and then name them without looking at what painting's which. Anyway, I think that adds, it becomes more of a reward when you do get something that works out in your favor. It's nicer, it's more of a feeling of, you know, it's like a surprise. This is a nice one I did called Bent. I really like this. I really love this eye on this one. And I never went back and did another. I think I did this for a while like this, and then I stopped. And this eventually evolves into another eye form. But I really did like Bent out of these ones. Hopefully these are still kind of in focus. I know the lighting is really bad. So yeah, I didn't really like the light purples, but I didn't at the time think to just do a full, like kind of a dark purple thing. This was going more for the mall rat, kind of another mall rat over here. I'm still mixed with my colors. This is pink right here. And the reason I try to do them all the same page, same color, is really because I'm making so many of them that I think I can afford to just do one full page. Okay, be done with that color for a couple days, one full page. Nowadays I'm doing 3 at a time, so it'll be, and I do kind of colors that I think look good together. So blue, green, red, things like that, orange, purple, yellow. Yellow I don't do as much. This one I do remember doing, really, this eye here. A lot of times I keep my eyes closed, as anyone who saw my early videos will know. Blindfolded sketches is kind of something that I started doing in 2024. Evolved into this, evolved into a bunch of other stuff. Another mall rat over here, really like the hair color on this, amazing. Yellow is a color I did for a little bit. I might have come back to it 1 or 2 times. Really don't like the way it looks with the black, just felt like I should try. So you see me trying different things here. I'm using the pink. I think this is called, I think I actually have the exact marker. It's called Blue Haze right here, and it's an Artist Loft marker. I really enjoy these markers, but I do have one that I like better right here, and that one's called Cool Gray. We'll need to go get more of that. Anyway, you do see me trying different things here to make it work. I try lighter around the eyes. I try darkening the hair. I try without tears, with tears, one tear. Different hair colors you see me doing. So ultimately I did kind of like this one, which is just very kind of cartoony, you know, not really, you know, anything special, but I did like this one. I think I would maybe have to redo this using gray as my eye color and my outlines and things like that, because it's too harsh, I think. And I think I ultimately, this is not too bad, but this is more of a green. If you mix yellow with black, you get green, usually in paint. So anyway, moving on, you do see me trying different things here. I got staples, crosses, little squiggly lines, little. So you do see me still experimenting quite a bit. I do eventually lock down different colors. This one I like the background color. To eventually kind of lock some of these ideas down, which I do need to kind of loosen up again and get back into just experimenting. This is my big face. There are times when I'll do big faces like this, and this is one of my favorite styles of painting that I was doing. At this time, you see, I wasn't doing a cross on every single painting. I've kind of moved to doing mostly, some of them even had 2, but I kind of have moved on to doing crosses mostly on every painting at this point now. Today's December 31st, so kind of moving kind of quickly. This is another kind of S-shaped one. I lost touch with this one, this shape. I have tried to do it recently, but they usually end up like this more. I think I need to pull up with the paint a little farther. You see this one's closer to this. This one's a little bit not down enough on the white. Either way, you see what I'm going for. Really like this one. You really, to appreciate these paintings, you kind of have to see them one at a time. because if you're seeing a full batch of them, it's too much to take in, and I noticed that myself. Darker orange is one of my favorite colors to work with. This basically looks like orange mixed with brown. This isn't a really good one. I don't remember doing any of these really. This one's really good too. But again, you have to look at them very intentionally, I would say. You'd have to take them out and kind of really like this one too. And a lot of, you see I'm still doing a lot of experimental stuff here like this. I wouldn't do something like this now. And I need to start going back to my old ways. But you see this, I got the cool gray Artist Loft marker with a little dot on there. Certain things like that I do notice that I've slowed down doing. Like this one here, enjoy that. Pretty unremarkable page though, I would say here. This one I really like right here. This one I think had potential, but I think I threw it away. And again, I'm talking right now, so I mean I may come back and look at these again in a year and say, okay, I was wrong. I do actually quite enjoy that, and that happens to me with everything, movies, music, everything pretty much. So, and here we go, getting into the reds. I think a lot of these reds are a little too on the nose. Like this is too red. I do like kind of blended. Like this is a nice one, and I do like this one design-wise. That's actually something that I normally wouldn't. You see the lip highlights are much more than I normally would do. I really like that. And this is just kind of a reminder to myself to get back to kind of just being a little more experimental with my designs. You see the nose shapes here are all over the place. This ended up being a nose shape I locked in. Both of these I locked in. This one I haven't used in a while. This one I locked in. But you do see this. I love this shape. This is probably my favorite nose out of the bunch here. The kind of upside down heart nose. Really love that. That's actually better than some of the noses I've been doing recently. This one I really love. I kind of remember this one actually, and this one. Yeah, I kind of remember these three now that I'm looking at them. And what date would I have done these? 3/20/25. So I was really hammering these bad boys out. This is from January to March. So you see me kind of figuring out, okay, let's add a little bit of darker colors to the reds, and I really wish I would have continued doing that. This one I like right here. You see a little bit of a detail where I pulled the brush. You can actually see the line right here where I pulled the brush. I must have had a little bit of a darker residue on the edge of the brush, pulled it, and created that pink line right there. So that's a pretty good one. Really good nose right here. And I do remember doing some of these. I remember this one, this one, this one. Again, you see I'm still doing 40 of them in the same color at this point in time, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I think the way I'm doing it now is better, just mixing my colors up. I slowed down. I used to do 9, 20 of these a day, whatever. I'm doing about 3 a day. I'm trying to stay more consistent with my 3 per day, and really focusing on quality of, quality of the pages and things like that. But I do notice that I have been missing out on some of this. You see these cheek shapes are really great. I love that. You see them, I'm doing, this I do still, the larger and smaller, but not to this extreme degree, which I think looks really good. This one's amazing to me. Really like this one. And you got to pick them out and put them, look at them individually, really, to get any kind of feel for them. Some of them are just not going to be great, but when you're just trying to do output, you will get some that, like this. I love this. This is amazing to me. Again, when I say things like that, I mean in my own opinion. Like, I think this would look great in a little tiny frame, and I think a lot of these would. This, you know, but short of actually putting them in a little frame, I won't really know that, and maybe I will get a couple little frames and start switching them out throughout the whole year. This one I love. I actually remembered this was a mistake, I believe, the eye on this one, and I ended up going in there with a jelly roll, one of these, which I don't recommend. I think I got maybe a bad pack, but my size 5 jelly roll was no good. So out of the 3-pack, I only had 2 to start. But I did end up going in and doing that. So maybe I'll put that back in the arsenal for 2026. Let's see what else we got here. This is one of the earliest ones I think I'm seeing where I started using this this kind of almost gold. I think it's this beige sienna Prismacolor up against the red, unless I missed. Have I done it before? Oh no, that's actually just a gold, I believe. No, I'm right. That's beige sienna. Let me get it out and test it real quick. So beige sienna is what I believe it is. Yeah, so beige sienna right here. Anyway, you see me starting to experiment with different colors. I really like this kind of light on the dark with the white. I really also like the dark with the light on the white. So I think that might actually be the first example of the gold color going with the red, which is interesting. Yeah, so these are the first ones with the gold going as a complement to the red. And this is something I still do. Oh, here it is right here, actually, first one. I really enjoy that. This looks good to me. This one looks amazing to me, actually. So I wonder if I started naming them at this point. I did not. They all have names on their respective YouTube videos. You can find videos for all of these on my page on YouTube. I like that one a lot too. But unfortunately I didn't write the name on the actual back of the paintings, I guess, which is, didn't realize that. Okay, looking at this page, you see this is where this eye really becomes like a prominent, this kind of clamshell eye that I do. It is, it was an accident at first, because when I make these, the idea is if I have my eyes closed when I'm drawing it, sketching it, I'll come up with things because I'm picturing something in my head and I'm painting and moving in a way that I think I'm getting the vision correct, and then it comes out like crazy noses like this, like this, like this one. So a lot of times I'll shock myself like this. I can picture right now, I would think that this would be a nightmare to look at when you open your eyes. So the mouth's too close. But the whole fun of it is to make it work. So, you know, you end up getting a bunch of different things like the clamshell eyes, where I believe an accident, if I could find the first, I'm not going to go through now, I'll go through. So early, you could find the earliest versions of that where this was a full, this was a connected section here, like this, and then I went in there with a marker or one of those jelly roll pens and did this. Whereas later you see me realizing that, oh, this is a pattern of things I'm creating, and then I end up making them like on purpose, which has become a staple of my kind of style with these. I like this one too, didn't notice that. Anyway, again, I don't expect anyone to sit here and watch this, but this is something that I just want to have for me, you know, throughout the years. I am going to post it, but something I want to be able to look back on. Really like this one, how you can kind of see into the top of the nose. That's a really nice one. concept, something I don't think I've ever done again. I think that might be a one of one. So finally, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 spreads, probably 6 spreads, we're done with red. We're back to blue. This one I really, really like. I'm hoping you can see. So here you see me using the red with the blue, and that's like a color scheme that I really like. My brother has a pair of shoes that has that color scheme. That might have been where I first kind of picked that up. Maybe not, but that's where one of the earliest instances of me at least appreciating that color scheme. So there you go, you see that there. Really going kind of crazy, still trying to figure things out here. I would never use this kind of blue, this bright dark blue, against these kind of more teal colors, and that's something I wouldn't do today. This is something I would use. This is one of my Prismacolors. Don't know, that I wouldn't use against that. I do like how I did the kind of open eyes and kind of made the tears into the actual pupils of the eyes, or what you would imagine to be. It's like an imagined pupil. Here's another example. So you could see when I start doing something, I kind of continually do it for a while. This one's a really good example of what my stuff kind of looks like now, close to that. The colors are still too bright. I like muted colors, but here you see another big face. Moving right along, this one I really like. This one sticks out to me. This one I love. This one I like. So this is when I start getting more geared toward making things that I actually like. This one I like because I didn't try to overshoot the hair with the tear. So I put the tear coming out of the eye but under in the correct spot. Here's a good example. Let's see if you could see this. Of an early under the eye, like a I guess an eye bag going halfway around a circular eye. This is something I still do. Here's another one, and this is a nose that I kind of been phasing out, haven't used, but it is something I still do. I would bet that these have names at this point. Still no, and this is only in April, so really this is like 3 months of painting here. And again, they do have names on YouTube. Maybe that'll be something I do throughout the year, just kind of finish, fix this book up. This one I really like a lot. Chin, that's a very early example, I would say, of me adding a chin, which I do now add chins. That's actually really crazy looking. I wonder what I used to make that chin. That doesn't look like my... does not look like my pen that I use, which the pens I use are these Uniball Visions. They're waterproof. They're expensive, but they last, a decent amount of time. You gotta have good materials. I think I might have used a Tombow marker that was gifted to me for that. Okay, moving on. Big nose. This was kind of I feel like a later thing for me, but I know it's not later because I'm still seeing very mixed colors where I would keep, I do remember this one though, now I would keep my colors a little more uniform, as you'll see here in a second. Some of these I've given away, so you'll see missing ones here and there. Did I just put it in backwards? What's going on here? No, for some reason we just have papers in there. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so now finally moving on to another color, and you could tell this is early still because I could just look at it and tell this is kind of, some of these elements on this have kind of persisted, like these lines, but normally they're now colored. And again, I do want to go back to just more experimental, using, you know, just upgrading my techniques, but remaining experimental. I think that's important when you're painting or anything in life. You don't want to just settle into a creative flow. So I think that is going to be a goal for this year, is to be a little more experimental. This I don't do that much anymore because I'm low on my cool gray. Maybe this will, I really like the way that nose came out though. So it's shaded in. I'm sorry, I'm not being clear. It's shaded in with a cool gray marker by Artist Loft. This is the Blue Haze one, which is more pink. This is the Blue Haze, these cheeks. But if the cool gray one looks like this, and I don't really, this is also the cool gray. I don't really do full nose shading like that anymore, and I think I'd like to start getting into that. Maybe this will inspire me to go pick up that cool gray that I've been thinking about for a while. Going through this page, I think this is my favorite piece out of this page. Just kind of attitude, like a mall rat kind of deal on that. Okay. See, I kind of am starting to coordinate my colors. This is more of your lime green, which I do enjoy doing a little more, I think, actually, than the neutral greens. I like the lime greens. This is one of my favorites that I've done. I have to have put a name by now. Still no, and we're still only in April, and I did fall off on this to start doing some other artistic kind of chases and pursuits, but this one I do remember doing. I really love this one. I'd like to see what the name is. Again, these are all on my YouTube. You can find any of these, but they are scheduled to post daily from the beginning of 2026 all the way. Just keep posting every day, and I don't see that coming to an end as long as I am in existence, or if I move on to something else. But for now, for the foreseeable future, at least this whole year and next whole year, I would guess, we're going to have a painting every day on the channel. I'd like to know what the name of this one is, but it's going to be very difficult to trace that down throughout the, you know, throughout the list of videos. This one I like a lot too. I don't really do this anymore, but I used to do this a lot. Okay, and we're going to go through here, and that will be, here we go. So, 511, this one is called No Longer. What's the occasion from here on out? So, from here on out, what's the occasion? No longer. And a lot of these are, like, if I'm watching a TV show or something, and someone says something, I'll kind of just take it out of context, and if it sounds good, I'll use it. Okay, now getting into my second book of the year, which I am going to just merge with that book. This was originally my merchant account, which means these are the ones that I made specifically to sell. And you can see after taking a break, so the last one that we saw was from 511. Let's see how long of a break I took here. This one is, oh, this says 5.7. That can't be. So it's possible. Oh yeah, there was a short. Yeah, those last three I do remember. I did have to go back. I think I did that just to finish that page, if I remember correctly. So let's see. Now you see kind of the uniform color going on. And I did nail down a few of the shapes that I had mentioned earlier. You see the triangles, the small upside down hearts, different kinds of triangles. This was a newer one, I think, that I came up with around that time, based on some of the ones that I saw through the sketchbook. This one I really liked. I haven't done these in a while, I don't think. Kind of a variation on this. Okay, moving on, you see the kind of lime green colors coming in. Nothing really too mind-blowing here going on, but still, nonetheless, I did really enjoy this one. Really like this one. If you really look at them for just a minute, you'll be able to kind of pick out like what would look good by itself in a frame. So this one right here I really like. This one's called Everyone Who's Left, which means I did get rid of this one here, which means I likely sold it. I do have a list. And that's Everyone Who's Left right there. What's it going to take right here? Getting into kind of a minty green. I think I was thinking about my plants. I do have a decent amount of plants, and I was thinking maybe one of these would look good with a pothos. I think I had a Marble Queen pothos, which has since passed on, but I think kind of the white and mint green combination is what plant inspired. Really, really like this one. Love this one. Love how I did the small eyes on this. Don't really think the execution with the hair was great. Thinking about phasing out. Now see, the hair looks good on this one though, and maybe I need to just fill it out more, or you see it's a little more textured in this one. Apologize for the snoring. That's the assistant Riley over there sleeping, my dog. You see this one, I kind of remember this one and this one. Really enjoyed these ones too. Okay, moving now to basically every color for itself. I do remember this, I do remember this. These are more recent, late summer I want to say. 512, so I don't know. $5.10, okay, and they are in order, $5.9, $5.10. So I think I do go on to phases where I just don't paint for like a long time. I get into other stuff. You see my sculptures, things like that. This one I love. This is one of my favorites, actually. I always think of these, this one and this one. I actually could probably name, one of these might be called Here Comes My Girl. Am I right? Here Comes My Girl. So I do remember this one. And this one I can't remember the name of, but I really do enjoy this one a lot. I had a feeling. This one's called Into the Blue. This is also one of my favorites. So at this time I was coming up, I was really locking in on, you see, these kinds of shapes and faces. I was experimenting with the bags under the eyes, eye size, the circular eyes, the clamshell eyes. I was adding different line work to the hair, and then I started adding, I don't know when I started this, kind of definitely in here somewhere, these 3 lines. Maybe that was the first edition where I did that. But I do know that a couple of these 2 here are 2 of my favorites on this page. One of these, I think did I just see it? Once in a Lifetime. That's not. No, this is, okay, Letting the Days Go By. And if you know what's going on here, this is called Once in a Lifetime. This is called Letting the Days Go By. This is called Into the Blue. So if you're seeing this and you know what these are all references to, you know, hats off to you. This was one that I didn't think was going to turn out okay. Kind of went a little crazy with it. Got back to the experimental roots. And it did end up actually turning out kind of nice. This one here, really love the colors. Kind of a rose color on there. It's really nice. Love the eye shapes. Kind of a upside down heart, not fully closed nose. Teeth shape, 2 different sizes, 2 different types of teeth. A little bit of it. This one's kind of off the rails for me. But you see, at the time, I guess I did a few like that. Not to this extent, though. Okay, moving on. This is one of my favorites also from this time. Both of these. And I feel like these couldn't have been. I'm sure the dates are correct, but I feel like I've been doing much more. I guess I really totally stopped for quite some time because there's not that many pages left. So anyway, I do like this color blue. It's not overstated. It's kind of a mild tone and muted a little bit. And still kind of gave it a little bit of a flair with the mixed color moving up the page. In this, I think I achieved this color here by adding a yellowish white instead of just a plain white like I did in most of these other ones. I did start eventually moving into a yellowy base color instead of the white, and some of them a gray. I believe that would be like this, a gray base tone instead of white, and this would probably just be a white base tone for the hair I'm specifically talking about. This one I really like, kind of looks like a little bit of light is peeking out behind this character here. Not too much to say, hopefully you can see these. Okay, these colors, this is where it starts getting, where I really started to nail the red colors. Now this one I love, this is crazy. This is something I haven't done in a while, but I do remember doing it. And you can find the video if it's out, probably isn't, but what I did is stripes of hair with one of my flat brushes, but I think I must have done it upwards if I had to bet. And I didn't clean the brush, I would bet. I just kind of 1, 2, 3. I know I didn't clean the brush because I almost never do until the end of the session. But this one I really love. I think this is one of the first new hairstyles I've seen. That's not kind of a workup on something else that I had done already. This one I really like. I remember this one. I remember most of these on this, but I remember, well, not most. I remember this one. I remember this one. I remember this one. This one, I love this one. You see, I got the colors kind of gold and maroon, kind of burgundy almost. Kind of sticking with some themes. I did get into this kind of crazy hair situation. This is an older hair situation that I was doing, but I brought it back, I guess, for this one. I really like that. I love this. I got the crosses coming out of the mouth. That's kind of like a homage to when I first started painting. I found an artist called Philadelphia Crumb, and he's still my favorite artist, my favorite painter, and he does stuff like that. I did this is not a Prismacolor purple right here. This, I would bet money, is a, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's not cranberry. It's a Castle Arts, and it's not cranberry. It's, let me just see if I can find it while I'm here. It's this one. Aubergine. I believe this is it, if I had to bet. So let's try that and just see. No. So then it is probably just this one here called Purple. No. Was I right the first time? Is it something called... You win some, you lose some, but I thought for sure I recognized that color. That's okay. Either way, that was a good, really nice set of pencils that I got early on when I first started painting. It was a gift. And I did do some really, really great stuff with those. Specifically, one piece, it's all blue. And it's got a woman laying here and a guy up here. It's got like houses going up into the mountains on this side. It's got like a little building right here, ocean kind of. I'll have to do a sketchbook tour with my earliest sketchbooks. Really like this hair. Really loose, well done. Like these colors. And you do see I kind of am settling into the style in a lot of ways, but I still do kind of throw in like the oddball, like this. I flatten the top of the nose. This one, these two are kind of just, this one's called All the Stories Say. This has to be something I was watching The Walking Dead, so I would bet that that's where that came from. Love this. So this is where we get into the dark purples. I call these, well, I don't call them this, but I think of the Batman movie with the penguin kind of colors. I don't know. I've only ever seen the movie once, but the kind of grayish purples. This is what I should always do when I'm doing purples, but I don't want to mix it up because it's not just me who's taking these in and, you know, looking at them. So I kind of want to have something for everybody. This is a double under eye with a circular, kind of a double circular eye. This is a really interesting eye, and I do remember this. I think I did a similar one, or tried doing a similar one. Moving over, got the blues. Nothing really too spectacular here. Really like the eye on that one though. Back into the kind of dark reds. Really like this one. Shape is kind of old. Early for me. Early shape. The greens, I think I did I don't know why I did the orange and gold. I think I was just trying to be more like I used to be. You see these are a little bit looser. I don't know if I love this one or hate this one, but I do like this one. And this one's really good too, I think, if you're looking at it by itself. Let's see if you can see them. Okay, keeping it moving. Looks like I'm missing one from here. Did I get rid of? Oh yeah, okay, I did get rid of two. Let's see, really like this one. Love this one actually. Really like both of these. Not too happy with this one, but that's okay. Not too happy with this one. This one's okay. But I am, you see, I am doing, this is now November, and I am just doing 3 colors at a time, so you can kind of just, I do kind of, maybe I will go back and forth with full pages and just 3 and 3. So this one's one of my recent favorites. Really like this, and I think it's because the dark and light, the way the colors are working together there, and the eye shape, how close the face is. Really like that. Love this one right here. This is the pink marker that I keep pulling out. What is it called? I'll pull it out one last time. I got Blue Haze. This one I love. Not really anything crazy going on here, nothing too exceptional. Here's the one I was trying to say that I thought I did the double circle around the eye, but I was remembering when I did that one, when I did this one, this was pretty recent, maybe 3 days ago, 4 days ago. I was remembering this, but I was forgetting that the eye was the... So I put you see I put the eyelashes, but I put them on the eye instead of on the circle. Where in this, they're on the circle. So I was remembering this without actually going back to look at it, and sometimes that's how you come up with new ideas anyway. You just try to recall something and try to put it back together. Anyway, like this one a lot, like this one a lot, like this one a lot. Going back to kind of some of the field of crosses or whatever. Love this one. This one I like a lot, and this one is okay. These ones always tend to be my least favorite, but other people have told me that these are kind of higher up on their list for whatever reason. And I love all 3 of these. This one I did try doing kind of like a double chin, like, I think it is nice that I don't really know how to do form technically in paintings. So I do kind of just do the best I can with my thought process, and sometimes it comes out looking kind of cool. I don't know if you would get what this is just by looking at it, but that's what it is. Again, kind of a Gotham gray, purple, some black mixed in down there. Really love this little section. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but if it zoomed in, you could see this little section here. Also had the idea at one point to kind of match my, I'm not actually doing this on purpose in these, but I kind of did have the idea to match these up. And then you could kind of put them together. Like these two are almost a perfect match, but it's not intentional. See the hairlines match, that matches, so you could kind of put them together. Same with these, not as close, but... So anyway, those are my mini paintings for 2025, and first year of doing the mini paintings, so I wanted to document it mostly for me. But if you're interested in seeing any of those videos, they're all on the YouTube. There's a playlist called Mini Paintings. You can check out any one of those. And hopefully next year I'll have many more than that. I am going to merge that book, those two books, to one book, label it 2025, put it on the shelf, and maybe take a look at it at some point down the line. But anyway, thanks for checking in, and I guess next year we'll do the same thing and we'll see where we're at. Bye-bye.